Trying so hard to survive. 'Cause even though we were young, we had to stay strong. No matter what we went through, it was me and my crew. Dum bum bum bum. When we were kids. Hi everyone. Hello. My name is Keith. This is a facetious video, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop being facetious. I'm being or Keith. There, I'm being facetious right now. Being devil's advocate, kind of. Even though I think, on the side of the devil, at least in this case. In this case, the devil is the not the devil, but the antithesis of whatever the current thesis is. Sorry. I hope I don't sound like I'm being evil or anything. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Keith. Sorry.
Do you know what's really fun?
Oh no, don't get in trouble. Wait, who took off my Gregorian chants? We're talking. So, thank you, commenter, who's a subscriber to the channel. So he should be on the live any minute now. Brought up a wonderful point, or at least stirred my musings heavily on the idea of NPCs and our ability to wake them up. And so I would. Everything I'm saying from here on out isn't absolute truth. Like, you know, we're talking about whether or not a human being is an NPC, as in, you know, and then trying to define what an NPC is as either someone who is asleep, like to what, right? We're all asleep to a certain degree. Or two, if they don't have a soul, period, and they're just programs of the machine. Either one of those definitions of NPCs, as far as the occult world is concerned, is to a degree ludicrous. Luda, at least to the, you know, most of the world, and even within the world of spirituality, is like, you know, they're concepts. My point is, leave some room for interpretation. Include your own thoughts, please. Include your own thoughts. The idea of this channel is to encourage mindful musings. We'll call them mindful musings. Anyway, let's get into it. Take your shoes off. Stay a while and listen. And whoever knows what that's from gets a free tarot reading. A free, you can call now for your free tarot reading. Sorry, let's go ahead and give this a little something. Hi, how's everyone doing? Today, we're diving into the profound question of whether change comes solely from within, or if the world around us, external forces, can play a pivotal role in sparking transformation. It's very important to me because if we can't help others, what's the point? In contrast to my argument, the argument is, or was made by the commenter, was most likely those of us on this path, if you're watching this video, I assume you're on the path, that we're destined to be here, which means I'm destined to make, you know, insightful YouTube videos, which means other people are destined to just suck ass. And I don't necessarily believe that. Again, how can I prove it? I can't. But let me just present the ideas as they are. It's important to me because also, if you study the occult and hermetics, you study this thing called law of correspondence, which says, you know, you guys might know it as above, so below. Paganism loves this, shamanism loves this. I think that as above, so below might even be in the Bible. Don't quote me. I don't know where that's actually from. Regardless, it's a axiom that we practice, and it's an axiom that we witness in the natural world, and we use it as a tool to learn about the world. the law of correspondence, and it says, that things repeat each other on all planes of existence. So, um, I've been told that the NPCs by a number of people can't be woken up because change only comes from the internal world. It doesn't come from the external world. But how can we believe in the axiom, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within is actually the entire phrase. So most people in the spiritual realm says uh, everything happens from the internal. Like the internal is all that matters, and I don't agree with that because I can't believe that as within, so without, as without, so within. I can't believe in that, and also believe that it's only as within. It's a contradiction in thought. Sorry, I feel like I'm getting super convoluted, and that's because, well, the world is full of wonders, some of which have passed unnoticed, and others that, when seen, stir within us something that can't easily be ignored. But how do we make sense of these wonders? And how do these wonders shape us? I believe we are shaped always. I believe we are always being shaped by the external world. Um, and I believe that everyone believes that as well. So it is possible to be shaped by the external just as much as it is possible to shape the external via the internal. So the argument which the commenter brought up, which I used to bring up, which I sometimes still even bring up, but not in this case. In this case, I see clear as day that the external world can, with ease, in most cases, influence the internal world. So why can't seeing UFOs wake up an NPC character, even though the NPC character had no want to be woken up? Aliens existing, drones in the sky, orbs, UFOs, like, all right, those things are ridiculous, but I'm seeing them everywhere. I'm gonna go down a couple rabbit holes, and oh my god, maybe there is something to this. Like it's a gateway. It's a gateway D. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys have to see, feel that, right? Like we all have had experiences that have shaped us internally. It's the age old question of, as a person the way they are because of nature or because of nurture. Nature would be your destiny. We'll equate nature to destiny because it's your codes, it's your programs, it's something kind of, implanted by more of an external source. Whereas nurturing is how you're treated, how you feel. Nurturing how you're treating and how you feel, shaping your world instead of the world shaping how you feel. Oh no. Yes. Are we live? I think we're back. Yes, Jerry E. It's both. It's both. Beautifully said. You just said what I said in the past 5 minutes. You said it in a one sentence. We just sometimes get carried away because why not? Why not be carried away asunder with at least with ease and grace? Yeah, but the commenter didn't say that. It said I want to believe that. I'm paraphrasing because there was a lot being said, but I don't remember all of it. I'm paraphrasing. It was saying, I wish that were the case, but it seems that the word probably was used. Probably anyone on this path was there because they were destined to be there, because the external world is not able to wake up an NPC. What I gathered from the commenter was the external world cannot awaken an NPC because nothing other than the NPC can make that decision. And you are completely right. It's 100% both. But further, I would even go as far as saying you don't even have to have a want to be woken up. You could just have a traumatic injury or a traumatic episode in your life, and it opens up, 12 new avenues of direction. One of those avenues can be, I'm going to establish a deeper connection with the earth. Boom, you go down that rabbit hole, you're meditating, and you awaken, right? And you didn't awaken because you were like, I want to awaken one day. But no, some traumatic event happened and you made the decision. You could have easily picked, like, I'm going dark side and I'm just going to drink and slowly poison myself with, mental and physical things coming into my body, you know? So, yes, it is up to the choice of the individual. No one can, like they're saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink. But you know what? It sure as hell helps the fucking cause if you lead the horse to water. You know what I mean? If you were to lead the horse away from water, then you could surely not get the horse to drink. In other words. So yeah, you can lead that. There we go. Maybe that's the perfect way to have this conversation. It's like, 100% we can wake up the fucking NPCs, even if they're not asking for it, even if it's not in the slightest inkling, just by leaving a penny in front of their doorstep for the next 365 days. And they're just like, what in God's name is going on with reality? There's been a penny on my doorstep and it's been heads up, and on the 366th day, it was tails up, and you just totally shatter their reality, in probably a cool way, or maybe a bad way. I don't know. It's a thought experiment. Point being, we can easily lead a horse to water, which will give them the opportunity to make the decision of whether or not they want to drink of the water or not. And that's why I wanted to make this video, this live, because I knew someone in the comment section would chime in and lead us, how it usually works, lead us onto some really cool shit. Which is, can you wake up are these UFOs capable of waking up NPCs? Abso-fucking-lutely, baby. I've cussed too much. This video is getting demonetized for sure. So if you enjoy good conversations, feel free to super chat so that we can have more good we'll have good conversations either way. I don't know what I would do with my life, but point being, we're gonna wake up all these bastards. We're gonna at least lead all these dudes to water, and pray to God that when they see the water right in front of their noses, they go, "Oh my God, is that water? I've never seen that before." We drink the water? Nah. We don't drink the water. You drink the water? You drink that? You drink that shit? All right, maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll have a sip of the water, And this dude over here is like, hey, man, we'll put some ice in it. Right? I know it's new, it's kind of wet, and but we'll put some ice in it. It's going to be really cold, and it's going to feel really nice going inside. Just try it. Put a little bit of ice in the water, and then they make the decision to drink the water. And then they're like, you know what? This shit's fire. This is, you call this water? What else can you can what? You can make beer out of this? No. Yeah. Beer's made from this? You guys get my point. It's both. Thank you, Jerry E, for that. Thank you, Jerry E, for that. Yes, it is both. And so I'm being facetious and cute and shit. My goal isn't to actually wake up NPCs. That was mostly clickbait. Though I do at least hope that we inadvertently wake up some NPCs, or at least lead some NPCs to water, so to speak, and pray that they make the decision, because you are right, no one's changing someone ultimately unless the person makes the decision to change. So let's just lead all the horses to water. How about that? Can we get that on a t-shirt? Like, hey, I ain't trying to change the world, but I'm at least trying to lead the horses to the water. Is that fair? Is that fair? Mr. Milks here and accountable. Hello, Sir Milks. It is I, man of letters. I'm here reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Whatever water without juice in it. What EU is that? What EU water with that? Can everyone hit the like button so we can crack the algorithm code and let Agent Smith know that we are knocking on the door? Sounds like the way they felt in the movie Idiocy when he said drink water and use it on the plants. I haven't seen that movie. Mirror Man, hello. Yes, it's pretty easy, but I still got shit to work in my life. But hey, when I'm done with that. Wait, what mirror plant? What mirror man? I don't know what you're getting at. Anywho, let's continue. Uh, you see, you see, the winds of the world blow where they will. Sometimes they bring storms. Other times they bring whispers of change. But change, true change, always requires an open heart, ready to listen. So if Keith, if you can listen more, maybe you can do the NPC thing more. And so my listening more, what does that look like? Maybe I can think of that commenter and think, what does that say about certain types of people to where they believe in their heart that the external world cannot influence them? I feel like it can be extraordinarily powerful, but also feel like it can be extraordinarily limiting, right? At least as far as ideologies go. I mean, you're basically leaving out half of existence. Again, I'm not saying that I'm not looking at this as being a wrong or right answer, but just what the answer, what the quality of the answer is, period. And to say that, you know, it's like saying as within, but not saying, it's like as within, as without, and then not saying as without, as within. You know what I mean? You're just cutting out half of the mechanics of things, which I'm like, what is it? 404, error 404, cannot compute. We have lost half of our data set, cannot proceed. Terminal error in the programming. Unplug, virus downloading, unplug immediately. And it's just got the dude from Jurassic Park, and he's all, nah, you didn't say the magic word. And the dude's just, Samuel L. Jackson's losing his shit, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's throwing all the papers off the desk. I know you guys know that scene. I know you know that scene. Don't you lie to me. Mirror Man, what's up? Magic waking up NPC asses. What? What up, magic ass waking up NPC ass? Nice. Richly decorated with garbage. Lots to work on, but makes a more beautiful planet. Blessings. I'm not sure what exactly you're getting at, Mirror Man, but I like it. I had notes, and I've been hitting all the notes and not even realizing it. My next notes are to address the counterpoint. We already addressed the counterpoint. And I might have been a little critical, but that's because I got carried away. I was channeling Samuel L. Jackson, and when that happens, dude, who knows? When Samuel L. comes out, we go all sorts of, you know what I mean? That's a tasty burger. That is a tasty. That is a good day, Mary. Oh yeah. I mean, waking up NPCs is easy because you don't actually wake up the NPC. You just waking yourself up as much as possible to where your life starts seeming like fucking magic. And people go, "What's that dude on? Water? That dude's been drinking water over there. The spot Keith showed me the other day? No, that stuff." Oh, um, because within each of us lies a flame. And though the world may differ, and the world may offer many challenges, it is only when we find our own strength deep within that we can face the shadows, or sometimes even the light of the external world. Because believe it or not, I feel like some people are also afraid to face the light just as much as they are to face the shadow. You know? Imagine someone consciously locked in psychic dungeons that they've created themselves, that they hold the key to themselves, and they know that, and they are unable to make decisions that lead them to the light. It's like, what does that say about the psyche? About fearing darkness or fearing light? Because that sounds like you're afraid of the light. Or at least the darkness is less scary than the light, and you fear them both. Change? Is that why we fear change? Because we don't know if it's good or bad. We don't know if we're gonna like it or not. We just are ignorant. We are just in ignorant fear. Not ignorant in a bad way. It's usually used in a bad way, but sometimes you're just ignorant. Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you just have no fucking clue what anything means, what to do, what's gonna happen in the future. You tried so much to make shit work, and sometimes you kill it and sometimes you don't, and it's just like, whoa. Maybe that's why things like Jesus work so well in converting people. At least the spirit of Jesus is like, it's all good, bro. Just give yourself to God and send it. You know, like Jesus is very, Jesus take the wheel. He even has his own slogan. Not that there's anything wrong or right with Christianity. I'm just using it as an example. There's some wonderful things in it. Just an example. I was raised Catholic, so it's easy for me to make Christian analogies. But there is a lot in relinquishing worry to something outside of ourselves. You know what's crazy? What if Jesus is like a giant sigil? I'm sorry, sigils are on my mind because we've been talking about sigils so much lately. But what if Jesus is like a tulpa sigil combined in one? Right? Whether or not he was real, the entity of Jesus that exists as a subconscious thought form is believed by so many people and is prayed to religiously by so many people and is died for literally by so many people. These are all sacrifices. It's not sacrifice in like, Baal or something like that, but just sacrifice as in you are giving something your energy. Whether it's negative or positive, to give energy to something is to sacrifice to that thing. Period. Just as a objective reality, and which has given Jesus this tulpa-like realization, materialization, and that's why it works so well to become like, when you have your born again Christians and you're just like, yo, you're a different person. Like you are. It's not like they're on crazy pills or something, but they don't talk the same, they don't look the same. They're in a state, man. If there's a nicer word for cult-like state, it's that, because it doesn't seem like a negative thing. Like I said, it saves a lot of people. So, sorry, and sorry for the dog, but how did we get on that tangent? Where were we? Where am I? What year is it? Dog, stop barking, please. God, you're such a buzzkill. Dog is such a buzzkill. I don't even know where we were at with waking up NPCs. I think we left off at balance. I think we started with balance, and then we teetered to one side, and then we teetered back to the other side as rhythm does. Then we like experienced that side, and then we're like, no, but let's experience this side, and then we rounded out, and then we medianed ourselves to balance, right? It's like a good symphony. Good orchestral symphonies tend to end where they began. It takes you on a journey. It starts off like usually it starts off a little slower and grows, you know, but then it comes back down, you know, there and back again, there and back again. Um, it's awareness that changes the perception. Well said, Jerry. It's awareness that changes the perception, or at least one of the things that changes the perception. Everything is duality. Even love can and does hurt, man. Even when it's a totally natural thing, like my child. Not even like a lover who breaks your heart where love can hurt, but even like my child will go missing for all of 12 seconds, and I'll be like, my heart's ripping apart inside. I'm like, you've done it now, Keith. You lost him. Like, how could you? Oh, it hurts because I love him so much. So yes, well said, Jay. Oath, greetings, Oath. Greetings, everyone. Welcome on in. Hello, my name is Keith. I am your man of letters, here to bring you knowledge, information, and hopefully, at the least, a bit of entertainment. We're currently talking about. I'm having a response video to a comment where the commenter said the UFOs can't wake up NPCs because nothing can enact a change in something other than the person itself. Change can only come from within, and I'm trying to offer a counterpoint to that. And you've come in like way after we did everything. So if you want me to recap, let me know. If you want me to summarize, let me know. If you want to let me just read the rest of the comments in case you guys said some interesting things already, I will do that now. Visdu, Oath, J.E., we're afraid of the reaction to change. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. I'm already gonna pin that comment, Jerry. I'm already pinning it. We're afraid of the reaction to change, not the change itself. It's funny how a child that falls might wait for the reaction of others around them. That's totally true. I see that so much. Back to my 5-year-old son. Oh my God. Because sometimes it's funny when people fall. And so sometimes my child will fall and I'll be like, damn, that was hilarious. And he'll fall and look at me and he'll have this half smile on my face because even he'll think it's funny. And I'll start laughing hysterically and he'll start laughing hysterically. And then the opposite happens sometimes. We all know this. We all know how children work. Or at least we're not surprised when they do work, even if we don't exactly realize the implications of how they work. But that's very well said, Jay. The Bruce Codex explains a lot about Jesus and rituals. I'm looking for a new book. Bruce Codex. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Rusty. If you guys don't mind and you would like to hit the like button, that would be awesome. If you have the means and the motivation, if you have available digits. Your dog is making my dog bark. That's funny. Of course, my spelling is bad, but you can still find it. Also, the HOGD has videos posted on the subject, but they don't post anymore on here. What's the HOGD? All right. It's funny. The path we walk is not one of ease. It's fraught with challenges. But it's through those trials that we find our true selves. The question is not whether we are shaped by the world, but whether we allow it to shape us in ways that bring us closer to what we want. closer to where we're meant to be. That Gregorian chant's nice, huh? The greatest lessons often come not from what we expect, but from but but from what we least anticipate. The journey of life is like a river flowing endlessly, sometimes gently, sometimes fiercely, but it has a tendency to move forward. It has a tendency to move forward. Questions, comments, anyone, concerns? Consider this the suggestion box. I will relay the suggestions to the proper authorities. We will respect the authorita. Man, it's cold. It's 11 o'clock in the morning and it's still cold outside. Golden Dawn, you can look up the Rosy Order. Oh, they are still active on. I really, with this deep into Hermetics, I, at least seemingly have been, you would assume that I would have read the Golden Dawn by now. I almost feel bad for not having read that book. Or at least reading a book, any number of books on that thing. I should. I'll put that one down too, Rusty. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. This is what happens when you listen to Gregorian chants, man. I feel like I feel like I'm in a cathedral right now. Is it a vibe or is it too much? We can go to the Daduk flute. We can go to the Daduk flute or something like that, and maybe not be so. I like it. You know what would be a dope manifestation? Can I tell you guys without you guys using your logical minds to influence it with your own personal negative doubts, which is why that's why they say you're not supposed to share, or esoterically, they say you're not supposed to share your goals and dreams with other people because, well, there's a few avenues. One of those avenues is um, Napoleon Hill calls it a subconscious overmind. So when two people come together, they create like a separate entity, and it's called an overmind or an oversoul. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read the book. Point being, when two or more people come together, one conscious entity is formed from that. Somewhat conscious entity is from that. An entity that has a life of its own comes out of that. And when you start to share your ideas with other people, if their thoughts suck and you join them to be a part of your thoughts start to suck. I'm not saying this is or is not the way it works. It's got some juice behind it. You know what I mean? It's got some juice behind it. So sometimes I follow it and sometimes I don't. But yeah, they say you're not supposed to share your ideas with people because if they have negative beliefs about acquiring what you shared with them, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this dude." Even if they don't say it out loud, they're like, "Really? This guy's a loon. You want what? You want to build a pyramid, bro? What are you talking about? You know how much money that's gonna cost?" The humans didn't even build pyramids, bro. It was the aliens. Are you an alien or something? Have you even had water yet, bro? Have you even had your morning glass of water yet, dude? You're talking about pyramids? Anywho, where were we? I forgot where we were. We were somewhere. We were somewhere. We went there. We came back again. Um, I think I was asking guys if you wanted conclusions. As was the last question I asked the chat from our last round of questions. Um, let me. Oh, let me set a goal. Can we do 15? We'll do one. A goal of one super chat. There we go. There's our. There it is. Sure. All right. Thank you guys for leaving all the comments. I'm having fun reading them. Oh, we have 11 viewers and 11 likes. Thank you guys so much. That's fantastic. Thank you, Archons. You guys have been extraordinarily helpful today. I believe I was supposed to share something with you guys, and I forgot what I was supposed to share with you. Maybe that was for a good thing, because we weren't supposed to share ideas, right? Ramon. Oh, hello, Ramon. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, they don't really require anything. It's cheaper to pay dues than buying David's book. Yeah, really book, $60 sometimes. Tell me what book I should get, Rusty. That's actually a very sincere question I have for you guys. For you, Rusty, is give me a good, maybe not one-on-one for someone like us. You know what I mean? Not one-on-one for someone like Bob down the street. Not that there's anything wrong with Bob down the street. It just Bob down the street might be on to the Golden Dawn hip on average, is what I meant. Sorry, Bob. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. You know, just be like, oh, Keith, this would be you. Let your soul guide you in picking me out. There you go. Is that the more high vibe way to present that, if you will? Let your deepest intuition guide you in which is the best Golden Dawn book for me to read first. Thank you. Love Roses of Saturn likes the background music. Nice, me too. Sabotage. Someone being you down or messing your plans up. Sabotage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's what we were talking about. Oh man, that was such a good side quest we went on. I'm sad that I forgot it. Sometimes I think when you forget trains of thoughts, it's because the trains of thoughts are over. Or at least that's what I tell myself to make myself feel better, that I didn't actually write those thoughts down when I had a chance. I haven't decided which one is closer to truth. I'm sure there's a mix of both of those, but which one wins most of the time? Oh, Rusty. See, now you're going dark on me, Rusty. This is very true. Very dark. We didn't want to go that deep, dude. You went Russian deep right there. You went Russian borehole deep right there, dude. But Russian borehole deep is just as real as shallow. So, what do you think causes the program to allow one to have an awakening experience and not others? Or are we having them all the time and are we just not aware of them? That's a really good question, Jay. Can I say, let me think about it? Can I think about it for like 8 seconds? Let me think about it for like 8 seconds and see if I can. What do you think causes the program to allow one to have an awakening experience and not others? Okay, we can break that down. We should. The only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So, what do I think causes the program to allow one to have an awakening experience and not the others? I'm not sure if the program is singling out someone. I don't believe the program has the ultimate power to keep someone from awakening. If we're going to call the program a nefarious entity, whether it be like any shape that it forms in, then we would say that thing creates circumstances exactly like we were talking about earlier. Sorry, I'm getting way too heady for this. We talked about leading. You can't lead a horse to water and make him drink, or you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So what the program does is it's darndest to lead the horse away from water. So when you say, what do you think causes the program to, when you say causes the program to allow specifically, I don't even know if you realize how deep that question is, because that's saying that the program has a controller. And so what's more important than the program is the person operating the program on the other side. Because if what's operating the matrix now is a bad one, then that's not God. That's not the source. That's like we're in the lab of some scientist who sees us as unconscious, or at least entities so far below its own consciousness that it deems it undeserving of its respect. The same way we test ants, in other words. It's like we do all sorts of messed up things to ants because they're ants. Are they conscious? To a degree, I guess, but like the difference between me and an ant is astronomical, so I'm not going to care if I test on them, sort of thing. So if you said, what do you think causes the program to allow one thing to have an awakening? Who knows? What causes the human to be messed up to one ant and not another ant? Who knows? As far as the ant is concerned, who they were having a bad day that day? Like, who knows? But I don't. I don't see it as like Bob from down the street is like we're turning him to hell as much as it is just broadcasting a passive frequency of lead the horse away from water, lead the horse away from water. How? I don't care. When? I don't know. Like details, we'll see how they unfold. The point is I'm going to do my best to lead the horse away from water. That's how. What does it look like? Terrible media, terrible music, terrible lyrics inside of music, terrible books allowed to be in print, and wonderful books not being allowed to be in print, lack of information, and the information available, like how it plays out within the world, it looks like everything. It looks like all bad things that would lead one away from righteousness, etc. But the first part of your question is actually pretty deep, at least to me, because it's like what causes the program? What causes God to allow, or at least I'm talking God. There could be a whole bunch of programs. Like I said, we can create a whole bunch of programs. We can create AI, and AI can go on to create other universes. So if one day AI becomes sentient, one day the universe of the end of the AI is going to become sentient. Maybe even faster than the way humans could do it, because AI is that much better than humans in that aspect. So we can create multiple dimensions with sentient abilities. Who's to say that we're not already in one of those infinite loops? And that's honestly what I believe. Sorry, we're getting super side questy. What I believe is that you can't actually ever escape all of the matrices. You might be able to escape this one to a better one, into a worse one, or into an equal one, but just different. There's an infinite varieties of ways to do that. Synthetic, organic, mental, like on every plane, like infinite, infinity exists. So there's going to be an infinite amount of ways of that manifestation. Am I too side questy? I might be getting too side questy. You guys know how the lives works. Anywho, let's get to the second part of your question. Right, we're halfway done with the elephant. Or are we just having them all the time and are just not aware of them? Have an awakening experience. Yeah, you got it, Jerry. We I could go more into it, but you basically answered your own question. Are we having them all the time, or are we just, well, we're having them all the time, and we're not aware of them. Yeah, again, we're going back to we're waking up NPCs. Can we wake up NPCs? Yes. How do we wake up NPCs? Can it happen outside of their own volition? And that's how I'm responding in that context. And I say, we're always having opportunities that lead us towards water, towards true satisfaction, the water for the soul. There are an infinite ways of leading the soul to that soul water, and they're happening all the time. And we we go towards the water of the flesh because not because it's worse, because it tends to be easier. Right? I hate to demonize the material realm. I will not demonize the material realm. But I will say that the material it's a lot easier to give water to the flesh than it is to give water to the soul. And it probably has something to do with it takes a lot of energy to refine something. That's a very alchemical way of seeing things, is that you need a lot of energy to refine something. Even if you're going to distill essential oils, you have to get the starting material, add a bunch of water because that's your solvent. Then you gotta add a ton of energy to boil that water so that it's a high enough vibration to where the oil can evaporate and be refined and distilled into a more pure form, right? It takes a lot of energy for that. Um, Not that there's anything wrong with the material, with the plant itself. The plant is fucking beautiful. The essential oil is beautiful. It's all beautiful. The salt of the earth is beautiful. What's most beautiful was when you bring them all together and you have an infinite amount of experiences, yada yada yada. Um, but yes, I feel like this matrix, whether a good thing or a bad thing, tends to lead people towards the water for the flesh more so than towards the water um, of the soul. And again, I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that's how this mechanism operates, period. And so to leave this mechanism, you got to do our best to drink soul water so that we can exist in the soul water mechanism. And then one day we're probably going to be like, this is boring as fuck, dude. I'm trying to go to New Orleans and get crunk. Like I've been doing the soul water thing for years. Can I do a little flesh water? Can I do a little flesh water dance? Is that cool? Is that all right? Once in my life, within reason and compensation and consciously, like, can I consciously dip into the soul water, bring some of the higher to the lower so that we can have, see how you can like do complex things in that aspect. But the thing is, at least the reason why I study the Kabbalion so much, more so than everything else, is because all of the seven Hermetic principles contain rules for the dance, whether you want to be drinking soul water or whether you want to be drinking flesh water. The principles of the seven or the seven hermetic. I had an incoming phone call. Incoming phone call. My bad, everybody. Um, we might have this. Oh, it's 11:11. Dang, what's cracking, fam? Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for letting me talk your ear off. 11:11. Ultra Instinct. Happy birthday. I don't got you. Did we answer your question, Jerry? I suggest the Israel Regardie. Regardie. Israel Regardie. Israel. Thank you, sir. I have that written down. And the Bruce Codex. So I'm looking. Your comments are over here on the computer. You can't leave the club either way, my friend. You may have your wish. You will obtain all the truth to obtain your goal. We thank you. Oh, thank you, Ramon. I felt that. Thank you. Thank you, Ramon. That was for the whole squad. Oh, you ever have to contact them? As I once told, once you know you can't unknow, these awakenings are hard when you are not ready, especially when a lot of people are asleep. Roses of Saturn. That's the club you basically already. Here's a pickle that may or might not tickle your fancy in regards to being asleep. P- People like you and I that like to have conversations like you and I talk about other people and saying we're going to wake them up or the possibilities of waking them up. But we also know, you and I being adepts at this sort of thing, that there are levels of waking and asleep that exist on all planes of existence because we believe in something like the law of correspondence. In other words, we can call this a sort of dream, a sort of illusion. The same way our dreams are their own dreams and illusions. But what are the ways that we aren't waking up? What are the pitfalls of our tier of or our place in the race? Not even race, on the path. Have you heard that term? You can't run away from trouble. There ain't no place that far. That's a quote on the what used to be Splash Mountain at Disneyland. That was my favorite ride, dude, and they took it away because they said it was racist. Um, it was, I guess technically it kind of was. It was from the movie Songs of the South. If you ever saw that movie Songs of the South, which was to a degree, yeah, you know how those dudes rolled back then. But I still like the ride. Anywho, there was a quote on the wall in that ride, and it said, "You can't run away from trouble. There ain't no place that far." And that sort of speaks to the corresponding nature of existence. In other words, we have problems here in the third dimension. You could be a six-winged, sixth-dimensional intergalactic being, and you're still going to have problems on that, in that dimension, because again, you can't escape law. Or if you believe in as above, so below, you can't. Then you have to take that with you everywhere, which is why it's called as above, so below, as below, so above. Um, hmm. So maybe reality has partitions in it, and data has to be transferred from one to another. Okay, it could be the quantum effect. Mostly our minds live in moments. Um, Happy winter solstice, everyone. Oh man, what a perfect day to go live streaming for solstice. Right, you are supposed to wake up your brother. You can discuss it, but expect nothing. Discuss it, but expect nothing. I think the discussion is a lot better that way too, don't you? Like when two people are having a conversation about something without expectation, I think that's why, at least for me, I have such good conversations with strangers because they expect nothing of my response. They expect nothing of me. I'm a stranger. They assume nothing, you know? Anywho, your comment about supposing to wake up your brother makes me laugh because I'm thinking of two celestial beings in the fourth dimension, right? Or two celestial beings in the fifth dimension, but one is on his way to the sixth dimension. So he's trying to convince his fifth dimensional brother, like, yo, or sister, or neither, if that doesn't exist. I don't know how that works up there. They go, hey, man, there's this thing called the sixth dimension. And they're like, no, tis but a fairy tale. We all, the culmination of dimension. And he's like, no, listen, there's a sixth. There's one forged in secrecy. You must awaken to the truth, brother. And then he's like, giving the spiel on how to lead spiritual horses to spiritual water and shit. And he finally convinces a whole bunch of his followings. Wait. Oh, it's live. Thank you. Wait. Oh, it's live. Thank you. Is that a whale? Is that a whale of a deal? Um, tis. Oh, okay. Tis but a fairy tale, right? You guys got. I was like, I hope they caught my bit on the fifth dimensional Jesus. I'll be pissed because that was one of my best live bits, I think, and I would have been sad if you missed it. But it's just, anywho, that's where my mind goes when people say, when I hear YouTubers and they all the famous, I'm super bitter on famous YouTubers, famous spiritual, philosophical YouTubers that say things but don't align with the other things that they say. Um, is that they'll be like, we must leave the third dimension and transcend duality. And it's like, you can't. What do you mean? This duality only exists in the third dimension? There are potentially an infinite amount of universes and dimensions, but only the third dimension of all the infinite runs off of duality. Like, what are you talking about? Ridiculous. So, but it at least seems ridiculous. So that's what I picture. I picture like fifth separate entities having conversations with each other in the fifth dimension and being like, if there's no such thing as polarity, how do differences exist? past this dimension with different names or what a duration, a different degree than ours, because its rate of manifestation changes, but it still manifests as something. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Both our internet suck. Some pitfalls are to teach humility, and for us to remember that if we are still experiencing these things in our space, and to have more understanding of others who may not be there yet. Oh, that's beautifully said. Jerry coming in with the heat today, Jerry. Beautifully said. Sir E or Madam E. Um, yeah. I guess that's kind of where I was getting at earlier when I said we're asleep. I'm asleep. I'm asleep to someone. I'm asleep to myself at least 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? And 10 years from now, I'll be asleep to myself 10 years from then. So that's what we're always sort of waking up to new truths. So where the hell do we even draw the line of someone who has woken up? Like you have, maybe there's a test. What all the 7 hermetic principles? Okay, you are now in dimension 3.2 or something. There you go. Maybe there are some road marks. Maybe we can have like a definitive answer for being in 3.5D. That's a 1 page, a 500 word, a 1,000 word summary on each hermetic principle, and including some real life applications. And if you pass that, boom, you have your 3.5 certification. That sounds reasonable, honestly. I know I said that in a very facetious manner because this whole thing has been a facetious manner, but I was dead serious at the end of that facetious thought that that's a good idea. It developed into something that I'm down for. Have you read the Kabbalion? Dude, bonus points. That's almost too easy because anyone can read something, but to be able to teach it back in your own way is next level. So read the Kabbalion. It's 3 point. We'll give you 3.1. But the written essay, the 7,000 word essay with a meaningful introduction and prologue, will get you at least half a point. It'll get you halfway to the 4th dimension. It will. I'll give you that. I feel like it's the line of question and discussion. Yeah. Tis. Rusty. Tis. I have read it. Might read it again soon. I don't know if you know Roses of Saturn if you're new to the channel, but I have a ton of audiobooks on my channel. Kabbalion being one of them. If you care to listen along this time. To be honest, I don't listen to audiobooks too much because I know I won't retain as much as if I actually read it. Obviously, listening and reading at the same time might be fun. I haven't tried it, but I hear people love to do it, so that's even more powerful. But where was I? The audiobooks. Yeah, I have a bunch of dope audiobooks on the channel if you want to check them out. Anywho, I'm gonna call the live at that squadron. Oh, look at that, right on the nose at 60 minutes. Thank you guys for chilling and hanging. Should we do a cool little outro or something? But it won't hurt to try. Yeah. So sometimes I'll listen to audiobooks when I'm doing things. That's really the only time I listen to audiobooks, and I can't. It's hard to. Novels I can. I can listen to audiobook novels, but even then, I can just feel novels more because I like the fantasy aspect. So still reading book is more powerful, but I can do audiobook fantasy stuff. I can't do audiobook law of attraction stuff. I can't do audiobook dry material like philosophically technical material is not something I can passively listen to. I gotta fucking read that. I need to write the 1,000 word essays on the topics so that I can actually integrate them. There's no way in hell I'm just listening to an audiobook on the Emerald Tablets unless I listen to it 1,000 times. But then even still, you're better off reading it 1,000. Sorry, I'm going in circles. Thanks for creating a discussion around my comment. Jerry E, was that your comment? Or did you ask me a comment? Thank you guys too. You can thank me even more by everyone slapping that like button and subscribe if you're new. You'd be helping us all out, honestly, because we have such cool discussions in here. So help me help you, in other words. Lead me to water so I can lead you to water, whether it be the flesh water or the soul water. I will teach you how to get to either one. I pray that when you decide of your own volition to go to the flesh water, you do it consciously, with ease and with grace, to as much as you can, within relation to compensating for the type of flesh debauchery you wish to partake in. Did that make sense? Even if you didn't catch any word, did it resonate on some level? I hope it did. It did for me. It did for me, which is half the battle. Um, you're welcome, Jerry. Roses. Who else is it? Rose, no, you like to thank yo. What else is it? Who else? Rusty. Thank you, brother Rusty. Vivian, if you're still here, happy solstice. Ultra Instinct. I respect all forms of life. Just stay outside. What was that in relation to? I mean, that was like half an hour ago, wasn't it? Ramon, if you're still here, Ramon, thank you. Thank you for granting my wish. I love you. Cool. A Merry Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah, or Saturnalia. What else? That's all I got. Saturnalia. That's as old as it's getting. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Goodbye.